welcome to another show, Making It in Japan, with the gorgeous, delectable, and talented
Donna Burke.
Me.
Oh!
You totally thought I was
We did the same funny, Donna. Donna. My name is Indigo, and I am the other person who's not Donna Burke. How are you doing, Donna? How's your day?
I'm doing great. I got vaccinated on Saturday.
Hey!
It was the most excitement. It was like a day out. It was like going to the airport. I felt like I've been on a trip, and I'm just so excited.
So
what about you?
Wait, so how much have you been out, like, during this whole pandemic thing, this year and a half-ish?
Well, I have not much. I have a house in the mountains of Minakami, which used to be a cabin.
Right.
And now, because I've spent so much at IKEA online, IKEA, for the people who can speak Swedish.
For us pros.
Now it's like a gorgeous, beautiful house. And I've been spending a lot of time out of Tokyo and not talking to or seeing anyone.
All right. Yeah, because I walk past your house sometimes when I'm strolling around Tokyo, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if Donna's home. You're like, nope, still in Gunma. Okay, goodbye. So it's yeah.
I'm in Tokyo at the moment. This is my little study.
Oh, I might just come by and throw eggs on you, as I sometimes do. Not that you would know because you're never there.
No, you can come and throw eggs in about on July the 3rd, because that's when I'll be 92.1% inoculated.
Way!
14 days. I'm just so grateful that I'm vaccinated.
So So the thing is, okay, before we get too far in, this of course is the Making It in Japan podcast. Hi everybody,
which is brought to you by Hotties Heat Pads.
Hotties Heat Pads.
You can buy them online or at Amazon.
Yes.
Right.
I think Amazon is online, Donna. I could be wrong, but
no, that's at the actual Hotties website as well as Amazon.
What's the URL then?
Hotties.com.
Okay.
HOTTEEZE for the UK people and ZE for the North Americans.
All right. And ZE for all you Swedish. So, yeah, cool. We're available on iTunes, probably. No, Apple Podcasts it's called. Hopefully, maybe. We've been having issues, but we're also on Spotify and, of course, here on YouTube on Donna Burke's YouTube channel. Donna Burke!
Woo!
Hi.
Mate!
So, vaccinations. Tokyo, Japan, notoriously late to the race compared to a lot of the other countries.
Are they? Well, ask Australia, because Australia is pretty hopeless.
How's Australia doing, actually? I have no...
The bubble
insights.
hermit kingdom of Australia, it's world-class news. 2 people have come down with COVID. Tonight's news reveals all. It's like, and my friend Kim, who you know, she told me that their contact tracing is so good that they worked out that someone caught COVID while they were in a shop, and for 10 seconds... someone who was asymptomatically infected, just breathing, not talking or anything, not singing or doing anything, gave someone COVID in 10 seconds.
Oh my God. It is bad.
Of course, they weren't wearing masks, but because it's Australia and there's no COVID, people just walk around without masks most of the time, except for the poor people in Melbourne. If you're listening for Melbourne, you've really suffered, and I feel sorry for you. So,
shout out to Melbourne.
They had a lockdown for 3 days, and they're in a fantasy land.
They're fine, because I know that New Zealand, which is very close to Australia geographically, have been very well off compared to a lot of the other countries. This whole
Australia and New Zealand. New Zealand's like number one. Australia's followed and they're matched.
Okay,
and they don't. They have just shut the whole thing down, and I think if I want to go back to Australia, I have to do 2 weeks of quarantine.
Oh, wow.
Where I might catch COVID, because you catch it when they open up the doors to get your meal, and then another family who's just like riven with COVID open their door at the same moment, and all the stuff comes out.
Oh my God.
I know. It's like, thank you, Mr. Vaccination.
Yeah, good job.
Mrs. Vaccination.
Mrs. I'm getting mine on July 13th. My first one was finally able to get an appointment. Again, rollout has been so late, but I gotta give it to Japan, man. They are stepping it up, and they're doing like 2 million shots a day right now. It's like
they're crushing it
insane.
now.
Yeah, it's insane.
Love it.
So yeah, massive shout out. So I'm really happy to finally get it. I just want to go back to Sweden, man. Meet my family, everything. Haven't been back since I moved to Japan at all, which feels kind of insane.
Wait, so how long's that then? How long since you grabbed your dad and gave him a hug?
That would be at the airport, which was when I left on September 28th, 2019. So coming up on 2 years soon enough. You know, fun fact, Maya actually moved from Sweden today, 2 years ago, on the day. So this is our 2-year goodbye anniversary. Yeah.
Happy anniversary. It's a special day. I remember the first day I came to Japan, April 10th of 1996.
Was that your first time in Japan too?
Totally.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, we'd both been in before, like as tourists several times, but yeah, this was different. And the fact that when she left to come here, we were going together, but I got problems with my visa, my first visa, different reasons. And it still wasn't clear that I would actually get my proper visa when she left. So there was like this hanging risk that she would go and I would not be able to join her. So, but it worked out, obviously. But yeah, it was scary for a bit. So back to the vaccine though. Which one did you get?
I did not go vaccine shopping because I didn't need to.
Sure.
Because they've both got two awesome ones. I got Moderna.
Moderna. That's the same one Joe Biden got, I think.
But it's good. It's like for Pfizer and Moderna. But as my friend said, the best vaccine is the one in your arm.
100%.
So, but I am grateful that it's Moderna, and it didn't even hurt when the needle went in. I was waiting for it to really hurt, and it didn't hurt.
Surprisingly, yeah. Now I'm looking forward to it. I have like such a fear of needles. I almost said fear of noodles. Fear of needles. That too, different story, different reason. Fear of needles, but I'm like weirdly looking forward to this. Mostly for everything to just go back to normal. I'm getting Pfizer though. Yeah. They're doing Pfizer at all the clinics around Tokyo, and then Moderna at the big mass vaccination site. I was thinking of like, should I get the first one at the mass vaccination site and the second one at a clinic? But apparently you can't mix the brands.
You're not allowed to do that.
No, you need to commit.
And they actually asked, when I went, they interviewed you twice. Is this your first vaccination?
Okay.
And so twice they check and twice they ask, do you have any allergies? And I'm like, well, sometimes in May, maybe March, I get a little bit of it. But, they're talking about like anaphylactic shock allergies. Sure. But yeah.
All right.
No, it's just so fun to get out and do a bit of people watching and
yeah.
Oh, what a sad. I have really led a very boring life during COVID. Exciting if you're into home edits and cleaning out drawers. Was just like a stellar 16 months of tidying up. So can't complain about that. And I really got into cooking, baking and stuff. So here's some homemade cookies.
I wish I'd been picking up cooking or something during the time because I sucked at it before and I still do. But I've been honing my music production skills quite a lot. So it's been fun. I'm way better at programming drums, for instance, than I was 18 months ago.
Why would you want to know how to program drums, Indigo? How will that get you a real job in the future?
Well, I mean, not to be that guy, but I've programmed drums for your songs, Donna. You should be happy I'm improving my skills. If you compare the drums I made for the cosplay anthem to the drums I made for, what was the other one, Tournament, you'll hear
Tournament?
Yeah, the ones in cosplay anthem, I'm sure you'll find, sound much more organic and lifelike.
Yes. I'm going to be a sommelier of programmed drum sounds.
Yes.
Smells very good, got good legs.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yeah, quite the connoisseur. Oh, man.
So I'm curious about whether you and Maya are looking forward to the Olympics in Tokyo, starting July 23rd.
Here we go.
In 1 month.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Are you looking forward to it? Are you a sporty spice person?
Sporty spice person.
Do you like watching sports?
I have, when it comes to sports, I have zero interest in anything even remotely related to it. I don't even play sports video games. No. I have never watched a match of any kind on TV,
Soccer
of
match?
any, nothing, never, ever. No.
Do you worry that you're missing out? That all these people are just sort of like, they're living for the footy. They're living for the weekend.
Yeah, sure. And I get that. And it's the same with all my American
But do
friends
you,
who are like,
Indigo?
no.
If you really got it, wouldn't you just be into
Hear
it?
me out. Hear me out. It's the same with all my American friends who are like, yeah, it's finally Super Bowl, like every summer. But the thing is, I'm a gamer. I have E3. It's that is my week every June of like 7 days of like intense, like, yeah, Sony, woo, 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 Nintendo, you know.
And was this year's E3 sports event good for you?
Well, at least there was one this year, I'll say that much. So yeah, even though it was just digital. So I mean, it was, you know, I enjoyed it. It was clearly not as cool as it used to be when it used to be the in-person live events, live audience, stuff like that. You know, we're all there for just to watch the press conferences. And Sony famously don't even attend. Sony, my big favorite video game company, they left E3.
Why don't they attend? That's a bit slack.
I mean, they.
Hello, Sony. I love everything. Anyone who's working at Sony is tuning in. Totally love you. Just disregard that comment.
Sorry, could you lower your gain just a little bit? You really sounded blown up there.
Oh no, sorry. That's because I leaned into the microphone.
It's fine. You know, stay close. Just don't blow things up.
There you go.
No, so the last time Sony were at E3 was in 2019, which incidentally was the E3 I went to, not knowing that it would be Sony's last time there. So, you know, I really...
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was fun. But, officially they just... I think they're having a beef with the ESA, who are the organizers of E3. I think they're having a little bit of a fight about
politics.
the money. Yeah, stuff like that. So, because they usually host some kind of event around the time of E3 anyway, like digital only. And they've been hosting their own thing in Anaheim, the PSX convention that was like a PlayStation only kind of E3 for a while. And then that one went away. But no, it was fun to just be back to like watching all these press conferences, like making a schedule for like, okay, Tuesday. No, we can't do that on Tuesday because I have to watch Ubisoft and then Bethesda and then Nintendo. Wednesday's better because it's only Xbox. However, then later it's Square Enix. So, you know, that's fun. Puzzling, all that. And that's kind of what I'm getting when speaking of the Olympics. Like that's like my similar experience. The Olympics in itself, though.
Watch anything? Have you ever watched the Olympics?
No, I have no interest.
When was the last time you watched the opening ceremony?
I don't even know what an opening ceremony is. I know there's a fire somewhere in Japan running around right now.
I know these nut job people in Australia who breathlessly told me, "Did you see the Olympic openings?" And I was like, no. It was the Illuminati. They had a massive eye, and then they did this, and they were seriously thought that the opening ceremony. And since then, I've never seen them again. It was so bad. It was good, but it was like I can't be friends with people who think that the Olympic ceremony was a world sort of.
But it's the same with Super Bowl. You know, Super Bowl opening is like also famously like Lady Gaga flies down from the sky, stuff like that.
I watched that. I watched the Super Bowl. Last Super Bowl had Shakira and J-Lo, and I totally watched it. It was like totally women singing, and I was just like, I love that.
Sure.
But it's 20 minutes of singing. It's
How long is the Olympic thing?
Smash a ball around.
How long is the Olympic opening ceremony?
I don't know, because I can't even remember the last time I saw it.
Sure. But
Maybe
that's the thing, like, I don't have any interest in sports. I don't watch any TV. I watch E3, you know? That's what I do. But that being said, from the point of view of just a person living in Tokyo during the Olympics, I am looking forward to it more than I was when there was supposed to be like 2 million tourists coming, which there isn't anymore because nobody's allowed in to the country.
I love it when the tourists come. It's so fun and...
Sure, but like Yamanote line on a Saturday with like an additional 2 million people, you know, it would have been chaos. It would have been fun to just see people's reactions to everything, but But the way things are going now, man, there's still a pandemic going on. You know, the Ugandan team for some sport flew in a couple days ago, got tested at Narita airport. One of them had the virus. So, you know, that team is like in quarantine now. So, you know, it's just a disaster waiting to happen, you know?
And the thing for the listeners, especially from Australia and New Zealand, the Japanese quarantine is 3 days. And if you can submit a negative test in 3 days, then they send you to home isolation where, you know, so it's just
because the thing is, it's supposed to be 14 days, but all they do is like, they make you install these apps. So you have to install Skype, you have to install some other thing, because they're gonna like randomly call you once a day and ask you to turn on the camera and see whether you're out and about or not. So, and they do that for 14 days.
How they do it?
Yes. So it's like 3 apps you have to install, and if you don't have a smartphone, you have to like get a smartphone at the airport. So it's really weird. It feels really improvised.
It's so lax compared to Hong Kong, Taiwan, which have 3 weeks, 21 days. You know, it's so. I just read the newspaper. This woman who's coming from London. She's an equestrian, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, they're bringing horses as well.
Oh my god!
You know, just the logistics of.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be in Gunma, up in the hills. They're in my cabin for the Olympics. And just,
Yeah. I guess my biggest concern is the fact that Japan has spent so much money to make this happen. And the thing is, you know, before every Olympics is held, like the countries, they compete for who's going to get to hold the next one because there's a lot of money involved. Then they have to spend a lot of money once they get it to like make it happen. But then they make it all back so many times in like tickets from tourists. But the tourists aren't coming. So they're not making the money back, so it's gonna get on my taxes, you know, probably.
Yep.
One day.
It's really sad. But then I read that NBC it's gonna be a bumpy year. That NBC broadcasting will make a ton of money because so many people will be watching it because they've got nothing else. They've been through every Netflix show and they're like, maybe I'll watch some sport.
I mean, there might be some truth to it. I don't know. I'm still not gonna watch, but there's.
You know what though? If I was at your house, and you had. Because, for example, the Beijing Olympics, Bill and I went to our favourite Chinese restaurant. We got there. It was dead because the whole of Japan was staying home because there was 2 Olympic figure skaters who were going to go for gold and silver. And I'm telling you, you could have shot a bullet down a major street and not hit anyone because all of Japan was staying home.
That is crazy.
We got to the restaurant and they had it on TV. And of course, once I've got my Chinese food in front of me, I was riveted.
Really?
For 20 minutes, I was like, that was good. Oh, we fell. Oh, no.
Wow.
I totally got into it. So, like, I can, if it was, I think I don't watch it because I think it's like a drug. And if I just have a little bit, I won't be able to stop.
Sure. I totally get that. It's the same way I don't smoke cigarettes, for example. I've never tried it. I'm afraid I would like it and get hooked. So I'm never going to try, you know. Because if you don't know what you're missing out on. But at the same time, you know, I'm already watching so much gaming content. And I watch people play games, which is a very similar kind of experience. You know, there's a commentator and like, he's running, he's shooting. Oh no, he missed, you know. Similar kind of experience, you know. Different mediums, same stuff. So...
Do they have backstories? Because I don't watch any of that stuff. Do they have like, you know, Tommy Tucker here, her mother just died last week from a shooting rampage, and so she's showing a lot of courage shooting up the people in this. Do they have backstories like that in the shows you're watching?
I'll say probably. I do not watch that much esports, to be fair. It's mostly like Let's Players, but I'd be surprised if there wasn't, because like you see all these teams walking out into the arenas and they all have like team captains, and these guys are known for last year when they did a horrific whatever. And now this team's showing up, and they're rivals. Oh, it's gonna be bloody, you know. So you know, it's kind of like wrestling.
So it's similar.
Yeah. Oh man. So let's see. I wanted to ask you. Speaking of gaming, by the way, we talked a little bit about this off the air. Have you been following the blue box thing that is going on? The blue box conspiracy, as they call it.
I found out it was blue box. I thought it was the Silent Hill conspiracy because I saw Konami's shop came up, and there's this girl that I follow on Twitter. I think her name's Shayna, and she's always posting stuff about Metal Gear, and she's really fun, and it's it's fun. So I follow her. And she was saying, "Oh, Jeff Keighley," and I know Jeff Keighley. I met him at the Game Awards in 2015, and I saw on Jeff Keighley was like about, I can't say what it is. Yeah, and his whole face is saying, "But it's true. He's
always like that, and and it's so fascinating.
So I don't know if the face is like it's the biggest hoax ever, or it really is Silent Hill. You guys are going to go nuts. So you can't really tell, can you?
Yeah. So, because the thing with Jeff Keighley, I mean, okay, to rewind the tape just a little bit, basically, this is what I've been obsessing with the whole week. I haven't got anything done because I've just been following this thing. So it all began in, I think it was April of this year, when the official PlayStation YouTube channel suddenly, out of nowhere, uploaded a random-ass trailer for what seemed to be a tiny independent, indie studio horror game called Abandoned by one Blue Box Game Studios, something.
Do they really exist, and have Blue Box ever made anything before?
That's the thing. No, they haven't.
Oh, I mean, that's totally fake then.
Yeah, and it gets so weird. This trailer, the graphics looked photoreal. It's the best looking forest I've ever seen. The voiceover was really bad. It was really it was really cringy, really weird, and there's no info.
Thank you, Yong-Yi. I watched Yong-Yi's
yeah, he did a great summary of the whole thing.
Night. So thank you, Yong-Yi.
Yeah. So basically, what happened is people started digging and thinking maybe this whole game, this whole studio is fake, and people start thinking maybe this is Hideo Kojima Productions. The reason people are thinking that initially is, as you know, as the singer in Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain, that the Phantom Pain.
I know everything about.
Yeah. So the Phantom Pain. So for those who do not know, unlike Donna, the Phantom Pain was initially teased as just being called the Phantom Pain, not being associated with Metal Gear Solid at all. And it was teased as being made by a random indie studio from Sweden, led by a Joachim Mograin. The studio was called what was it? I don't remember. Moby Dick Studios.
Blue Box. It was called Blue Box in Swedish.
It was called Moby Dick Studios. And Jeff Keighley did a fake interview with this fake CEO. And there was an actual Swedish guy there. He was an actor. And then he was like, yeah, this is my game, Phantom Pain. And Jeff Keighley was like, but is this connected to Metal Gear Solid? He's like, no, we have no connections to Kojima. And they started tweeting out, we have no connections to Konami. And then obviously, it turns out that Joachim, the CEO, is an anagram for Kojima. And the whole thing, and obviously Kojima was like, surprise, it's actually Metal Gear Solid, bet you didn't see that coming. And then there was another game called PT. There was an indie horror game that was released on the PS4 that was also totally random, appeared out of nowhere, and it was a mysterious tiny horror game. And when people eventually beat it, they got an ending cutscene that revealed that PT is short for playable teaser, and it was teasing a new game called Silent Hills all along, starring Norman Reedus, directed by Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro. And then that game was cancelled, and those three ended up making Death Stranding instead. And now this random trailer by this random studio that has no info, and also if you put Hideo in Google Translate, Hideo Kojima of course, from Japanese to Turkish, it translates to Karaman, which is incidentally the last name of the CEO of Blue Box.
The guy of the alleged CEO.
And there are so many coincidences. There's so much. And Blue Box tweeted out
Is this guy on LinkedIn? Is this Karayam on LinkedIn?
No, he's nowhere. The only place he exists on.
So it's all fake.
The only place he exists on is on PlayStation, on the PlayStation Network, where he's verified, which is random for a random indie developer to be. And you can see his history, he's playing horror games, but he's playing games that don't actually exist. And it's really weird. But then he's made a video on Twitter, Karaman himself, where he's almost crying, hi everybody, I'm sorry for making all think it's Silent Hill, I'm just an indie developer, blah blah blah. But then people are thinking he's just an actor, and
he's just like the Swedish actor. Okay.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole
when
thing.
Are we gonna
I
find
feel like
out
a real conspiracy theorist here. I'm connect the dots, Donna. Connect the dots. But the thing is,
I reckon you're right that it's
And the thing is, Jeff Keighley apparently DM'd with him back in April, and yeah, Jeff Keighley's gonna reveal his game, but why would he do that? He's just a random dude, this Hassan Karaman guy. But then Jeff Keighley's DMs looked suspicious too, because the date didn't match, and like, man, there's so much. But the thing is, as of recording this, Thursday the 24th here in Tokyo, tomorrow is the day that they are going to be revealing, they're going to be releasing the new teaser for the game, finally, that everybody's been waiting for.
Now, what is Kojima working on? Has he given us, didn't he tell everyone that he was working on a horror game after Death Stranding?
He did. He is making, they're making Death Stranding a director's cut for the PS5, and then he has explicitly said that he's working on a horror game too, yes. And incidentally, the Konami shop revealed new Silent Hill merch that's going on sale tomorrow, same day as this random teaser thing is coming out. Why Silent Hill? Why now? It's been gone for so long.
And I wondered whether the Konami shop was fake because, hey, you know, Silent Hill and stuff, but...
and then people started DMing, sending messages to Konami shop on Twitter, saying like, what is going on? Is this Silent Hill thing happening? And they're replying to people saying, just stay tuned, which is exactly what Blue Box are replying to people. Just stay tuned. Those 3 words, single sentence. And there's so much. Like, there's a Dutch flag in the new Death Stranding trailer, and Blue Box Game Studios is apparently based in Holland. So, and the Dutch flag makes no sense in the game. So it's so much. It's so much. So
it all will be revealed tomorrow. I would love to be, if anyone's listening from Konami or, you know, from Kojima Productions, you know, I was in Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill 3. I could do some zombie noises for Silent Hill.
Yeah, so I wanted to, because I mean, you're such a face of Metal Gear, like, and you've been like closely, I mean, connected to Silent Hill 2. What is your take on all this? Like, not that I'm trying to like pull out some like juicy scoops from you as the closest thing I have to Kojima, but like, what's your take on all this? What do you think?
Well, my take on seeing Jeff Keighley's face, and a lot of people on YouTube have made the same comment.
Sure.
He would never be able to work for the CIA. He's no straight man. Thank God he's really good at doing what he does because he can't act for shit. Sure. So if you've got a secret, never tell Jeff.
All right.
That's my take on it. Like
Good to know.
But you know, the other thing is how playful Kojima-san can be, and I think that everyone's having a bit of fun. So we're having a good giggle. We're having a, you know, and these days, there's not much to look forward to, so I think it's fun. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm noticing on myself with this whole thing, the way I've been following it, that like, wow, I'm feeling something again. You know, I haven't felt anything in so long. You know, I have a purpose. I have something to look forward to in the morning. What
Blue Box
dream?
Updates. You know,
what is your dream? If you could wake up tomorrow and have like the perfect thing come true, what would it be? Regarding this thing,
with this thing, it is well, first of all, they're going to be releasing a real-time trailer app, they're calling it, tomorrow, but it's only going to be on the PS5. So number one is I would get a PS5 so I can see the thing. Dream scenario would, I mean, obviously be that it is that Kojima has somehow worked out a deal with Konami, and that he's like, surprise, I'm back, and I'm actually doing Silent Hill with PlayStation somehow, and that is what it's actually leading up to. But then that in itself also makes ramifications for, like, well, if they're willing to play ball with him with making Silent Hill again, maybe he's going back to Metal Gear again. Did you see the new Death Stranding trailer? Yeah. The director's cut, which is like, it had Metal Gear music in it, and like it had Norman Reedus jumping into a box and like sneaking around.
Oh no, I didn't see it. I'll have to
You
watch
should
it.
see it. Like they are. Okay. I mean, okay, tinfoil hat.
Does it have dun 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 that part dun 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 dun, and then Norman Reed just jumping in a box, or was that?
It's similar to the music in the first game, which is like really slow and like really in espionage, infiltration, James Bond kind of stuff.
So did they have to get Norman Reedus back into the mocap to do him jumping into a box, or
I hope so.
Was Kojima thinking ahead and thinking, you know what, you never know, I might need your sweet-assed body, Norman, to be crawling around in a box. So just bear with me.
I'm hoping that they filmed that back in the day, but there's no new dialogue from him, so I assume they just rigged his character model to jump into a box. But it's so clearly teasing Metal Gear Solid for some reason. And like they couldn't possibly get away with that if they were still on like iffy terms with Konami, right? So, you know.
No, but Konami lets everyone run around and make fake videos of Metal Gear. So
I mean, that's true, but like would they let Kojima do it specifically? I don't know. I mean, maybe, but like I don't know. I'm just hoping that's what it is. It's probably
no such
not.
thing as bad publicity.
No, that is true. But if any of this comes true at all, I'm gonna be very happy tomorrow. So yeah.
I hope it comes true for you, darling.
Yeah. So do I.
Have you played Silent Hill?
I have played a little bit of 1, and then all of 2 way back in the day. And then just a little bit of 3 too.
Is it really scary?
Yeah, it is. It really is.
So that's why I would never play it.
I mean, 2 is typically regarded as the best
scary.
one. I'm pretty sure. And
why is that?
It's just good. It's just a good horror game. It's psychological. It plays with terror, like you're just walking around on edge, rather than like having scary monsters jump in your face. It plays on your psyche more to make you scared of everything. It's really good, and the music is great, and you know the actors are pretty good. I've heard, so you know some of them.
Yes.
So yeah. And that's another thing. Silent Hill composer Akira Yamaoka, you may know his name, he also said like, I'm doing a new horror game this summer maybe, but then he deleted those tweets. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, I've worked with him over the years on other stuff as well. Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I am
so the whole gang
big fan
might be
of him.
getting back together again.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Just wait for the phone to ring, I guess. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping that's what it is.
It'll be tomorrow night Tokyo time that
Probably.
we'll find out. Yeah.
However,
it's also it's sometimes tough being ahead of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Especially watching these E3
Time-wise.
press conferences. Like, I have to stay up to like 4 in the morning to watch Square Enix, and they announce nothing. So I'm like, oh, that was a waste of time, you know. But I mean, there is still the risk or chance or possibility that this is just an indie game in the end. And I feel so bad for this Hassan Karaman guy if that's the case with all this. He's gained a lot of publicity, you know, but everybody's going to be so disappointed with whatever he's actually making.
Yeah, I wonder who that... You know, I feel sorry for the voice actress.
Yeah.
You know, was she... And some of her intonation was...
Yeah. And like...
was quite...
Yeah, and like it's not mixed properly, so it sounds like she's sitting talking like this. Imagine waking up in a place and it's really scary, okay?
Yeah.
So it's like,
and so sometimes when people like get mad at the voice actors, maybe that's what the director said. Do it in a really shit way.
Yeah.
And so she's such a great voice actress that she goes, you know what? I've got this.
Yeah. And that, I mean, if it is a Kojima ruse, then that's probably what happened. But like, if it's not, you know, I feel so bad.
Yeah, that's super awkward.
But Blue Box also tweeted out. They responded to somebody saying like, well, the trailer voice sounded like shit, and they were like, no, the full game is gonna have top tier voice actors. Forget about the trailer. So they're like also throwing her under the bus.
Who tweeted that?
Blue Box Game Studios official. So like they're like throwing the poor trailer girl under the bus themselves. Forget about that shit. She sucks. We're gonna have real voice actors.
And she had a funny accent. So I'm like, is she? No offense to my Canadian friends, but like, is she Canadian or you know like?
I think it might be Dutch. Because they're apparently from Holland, the studio.
Right, maybe that's it.
Might be.
She sounded totally American, North American, but there was
for like 99%. But there's definitely a little something.
Yes,
like yeah. So yeah.
As an old accent, you know.
Connoisseur.
Bitch. Well, actually, I was going to say bitch.
Okay.
But yeah.
That works too.
I could go all weekend talking to myself in silly accents just for my own amusement.
I
once had people who say, "Why don't you just talk in your normal voice?" When I used to live in Australia, and I'm like, "But that's no fun."
Sure.
No fun to talk in your normal voice all the
Yeah.
time.
I usually try. I speak. I don't try to. I try not to speak too much to myself when I'm at home because I feel like I'm gonna drive myself insane if I do that too long. But I do try to speak Japanese when I'm home alone, just to myself, and like try speaking as different people I know to try and get different accents.
I think my cat's having a seizure, so just a moment.
Oh really?
Oh no.
Oh, you okay?
No, he's fine.
Okay, show must go on. Thank God. That was almost really awkward and sad.
Jerry's looking at me like, no, I'm not having a seizure.
No, you're having a seizure. Are you having a seizure? Donna, I'm worried.
So all will be revealed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. Sorry for ranting on about this for like half an hour, but
it's fun. I listen.
This brings me joy.
In the old days, we used to have Christmas, and you'd wait all year, and this is it's bringing some fun and excitement and drama into a very boring year.
That's the thing. Like, this is the most exciting thing in a while. Like, because it's so dreary, so dry these days. Just the world in general.
Every day just feels the same. It just Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why I have cookies.
Yeah. Oh man, I want some cookies.
Pre-COVID, I'd be like, I'm not having cookies, but now I'm like, oh, I'll have a cookie. Yeah, that sounds really fun.
Yeah, I've been ordering so much junk food from Uber Eats that I probably wouldn't have eaten normally. Like,
really, that's your fun thing.
Yeah, it's not my fun thing, but it's a fun thing. I have other fun things too, but it's something. We ordered a lot of like, pizzas with way too much cheese, stuff like that. I mean, really cheap shit, but like with a lot of melted cheese on it. It's really good.
Okay.
And then drench it in sriracha sauce, and yeah, it's nice. But anyway, enough about my cheese and sauces.
Oh, you're so Swedish.
Yes.
So predictable with the cheeses.
With the cheeses and the Swiss and the Swiss cheese.
I like that you can do the Swedish accent so well.
Yes, it's almost like I'm a natural.
I'm sounding a little bit German.
Yeah, that like every American or every foreign dude who's gonna try and do a Swedish accent, they all end up sounding kind of like this. And I'm like, that's not what a Swedish accent actually sounds like, though.
And what the people, if you're Swedish and you hear people talking like this, is that how Norwegians talk?
I mean, it's closer to Norwegian, but that's, I mean, Norwegians...
It's less offensive.
Norwegians typically have a way better, more believable English accent than Swedish people do. So, like, you can...
I know someone who's quite elderly from the Norway, and he talks like this, and he goes up, and he keeps going up, and then he'll finish the sentence, go down.
Oh, wow.
That's very Norwegian to me.
I mean, they're a little bit more up and down. Verkligt vanskligt. That kind of sound compared to Swedish. But Swedish is very plain. It's not at all like in the Swedish Chef TV show. Like a Swedish accent, it's more like this, It's American, but it sounds really, really stupid. Like you can't really talk.
If you're a crap at English in Sweden? How would you sound when you spoke English?
You would probably sound kind of like this, I think. Still
a bit slower.
Yeah, still pretty good, but not exactly like all those impressions you hear online when people are trying to do a Swedish accent. It's more of a kind of, I don't know, it's like when I'm speaking Swedish, but I speak English instead. It's kind of strange and kind of cringe to me. And, I've worked so hard not to sound like this anymore, like all my friends do. To sound a little bit more believable.
Hello, Indigo's friends, and
hello, all my friends back in Sweden. Sorry for throwing you under the airplanes.
Throw you under the elderberry bush.
Oh my lord! Yes, the famous elderberry bush. I don't know why, but like elderflower is such a Swedish thing in Japan, but it's not really. In Sweden, nobody drinks elder. I mean, it exists, but like it's not the popular ones.
So what is the popular one?
Lingonberry, number one by far.
Lingonberry is just like red cordial it's like, blueberry cordial.
Ish, and it's kind of bitter. Bitter, sweet, sour at the same time. It's the most popular one by far. And then we have something called hjortron, which is, I think it's cloudberry in English.
Oh.
It looks like a raspberry, but it's golden.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And it is so good. It's so rare, and it's so expensive. I don't even think you can buy it in any form in Japan.
Right now.
So a tiny can of cloudberry jam will set you back like probably 3 times the price of like strawberry jam. So
up in Gunma, there are these orangey berries that look like raspberries, but they're orange.
Okay, maybe
and they're quite sweet.
Maybe that's them, but I don't think they exist outside of Scandinavia, really, and like Canada.
Maybe the Norwegian guy planted them.
Oh, maybe.
Because he's got a house up there.
He'd be my hero if that's the case. I've like looked at all the like jam shops in Tokyo for cloudberry jam. Doesn't exist at all.
What color flower is the cloudberry flower? Is it yellow? Because I'll tell you what, these flowers are yellow. Let's just Google that, please.
I don't know, actually. I don't know. Yeah. I used to go picking cloudberries when I was a kid, but yeah, too long ago. Yeah, it was good times. Good times. Anyway. I feel like we're kind of far from the topics of how to make it in Japan, speaking of how to pick up berries in Sweden, but...
Well, you know what? I think people are tuning in. I just want to say hello to one of my brothers, Matt, who's listening from Perth in Australia. Hi, Matt. And he was the one that alerted me that there were too many ads on YouTube, so thank you, and I went and fixed the settings for that. So sorry, everyone, if you were inundated with ads.
All right. You're apologizing for making money, Donna?
Yeah, I am, because I'm so rich now because of hotties and everyone buying so many hotties that I'm just doing this for fun.
Oh, well, you can start paying me for this then if you're so rich.
Shush up. Shush up. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, actually, I was going to ask you about your makeup, and do you have a favourite brand?
Oh, really?
That you would recommend?
So, hi, everybody. There's my face. For some reason, I think my eyes turned out really stupid today.
Your eyes look very kabuki today.
Kinda, but they're like uneven, Japanese. I realized when we started filming, so I look kind of silly.
Very cat-like.
A bit. Different to what I usually do. That being said, no, I am such a non-snob when it comes to brands. I end up using a lot of MAC and NYX cosmetics.
That sounds snobby. I thought you were going to say you went to CanMake down at the local convenience store.
Well, I mean, I do have several eyeshadow palettes.
That's a cheap brand in Japan,
stuff.
Everyone.
Yeah, so I have several eyeshadow palettes right now from Daiso, which is the 100 yen shop. And they're like, they're fine.
The supermarket, yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
they're fine. They're fine. You get like 9 colors in a little box for like 100 yen, which is $1. And, they work. Maybe not the best quality in the world, but they're fine.
Yeah.
So you look really disgusted by the thought of me using that, Donna. You're like, oh.
I'm a bit concerned about their lead content or the fact that... But anyway, if you're not breaking out in hives, then good on you. As someone who's very sensitive.
Sure. No, I'm such a basic... When it comes to anything, in really, like all my peripherals to my computer, it's all like Amazon Basic brand. These lamps are like the Amazon Basic brand. Like I just buy the cheapest shit I can find that does the job, Yeah,
I think I'm a bit like I think I went through a stage where I bought my first Louis Vuitton bag, I bought my first Gucci dress, I bought, my first whatever in my 20s and early 30s. And after that, it's like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm Amazon Basic now too.
Yeah, same.
Except for I like a nice microphone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sure. There are some parts you can't replace. Microphone too. I didn't cut costs on that. I didn't cut costs on cameras, guitar, stuff like that. But like cables... Yeah. Whatever, stands, chairs. This chair even is like an Amazon Basic gaming chair for like 10% of the price.
Actually, next time we have a thing, I just ordered a new chair from IKEA.
Oh.
For the non-Swedish speakers, that's IKEA.
Oh, of course.
Because this is so bloody uncomfortable. This is a IKEA chair. I've had it for about 10 years.
Okay.
Every time I sit on it, I'm like, well, this isn't very comfortable. But then I'm like, oh, this is exciting, and I'm doing something, and then I...
Sure.
Get up and go away, and then I come back again. Oh, this is not very comfortable, and then I get. So yeah, I'm gonna have a comfy chair.
Nice. What's it? Can you like extend it and stuff like this? Like,
no, I don't really, because I'm always like this. No, I'm not a. You can't. I will be able to do it, but I won't be doing it much.
Sure.
How often do you do that? How often do you game sitting like that?
Never, really. I mean, I know some people that do, but like this isn't comfortable. Yeah, actually, it kind of is. It is kind of comfortable now that I'm actually doing it. I guess if you're like watching a movie, if I had like a big projector screen up there above my computer screen, lying like this, that could be pretty fun, like a controller. But like with my computer screen down here, this is a nice angle, I know, huh? But like with a computer screen there, it doesn't make sense, you know. It's just So, but I bought a nice new wireless keyboard the other day. Woo.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's
Love
fun.
it.
And a wireless
I
mouse.
bought some wireless. I bought wireless things for my ears.
Oh, cool. I've been thinking about getting those too, actually. Similar.
Super comfortable. They're not they don't go in your ears. They just sit over.
Okay.
And I can dance. I can do anything.
Wow.
I can do anything. Oh.
To a certain extent. Anything asterisk.
So, I wanted to talk about your resume that you're working on and how you have improved it because...
Sure. Let's do it. Let's do some actual business.
Let's talk about that because I think it's so important to make a really great first impression, and especially when you're sending your details to so that you can get work. You don't want to be... Even if you're the world's greatest talent like you are, Indigo, you don't want to be giving people work like, ugh, now I'm going to have to, get all this information that he's inconveniently put into a PDF. Yeah, so... Yeah, no, 100%. People, they just put too much information in and...
Yeah. You've probably written a couple of resumes yourself, and I'm sure you've received a bunch of resumes from other people throughout your years. Do you have any like common mistakes that you see other people do and you keep cringing on because people keep making them?
Well, the most common one is that people put too much information in there.
All right.
So when, they'll talk about their high school. Debating team, and then the thing goes on for too long. So we just want a snapshot of how fabulous you are, and it should be able to fit it on one page. And if you can't put that in one page, then maybe. Yeah. So,
but maybe some people don't have too many things to brag about, so they're just trying to like fill it up with words to like make it look better.
Oh, then if the only thing that you can brag about is your high school debating team, then that should be front and center on the first page. But keep talking about it and how you were the most famous. If that's the only thing, then you should have a page talking about that and how. Because of that experience, you can do anything. You can be a rocket science because of your debating skills. So it's just that when people are, 40 years old and they're mentioning that on their resume, it's like no one cares. No one cares what university you went to. We just get to the point.
Yeah. So I know when I applied for my visa, a little behind the scenes look here, but they asked me to also give them a resume, but they really wanted everything, and they like asked for my elementary school from when I was like 7 years old, like to get some kind of paper from them with my grades. I'm like, I don't have that anymore. Even if I did, it's in Sweden, So I can see in such a case. That's the only time
when I've ever needed when I first came to Japan.
Yeah.
And since then, no one cares. So no one, they just want to know, what can you do now?
Yeah. Would you say it's important that stuff you put on there is recent? For example, say, as for me, I want to be like a video game singer, let's say, but the last game I did was like in 2012. Will that like be
that should be on there?
Sure.
Oh no, that should because that's impressive.
No, sure. But like, is it a red flag? Like, oh, why didn't you get a job for 9 years then? Did you start sucking all of a sudden?
No, that wouldn't be a red flag for me. That would just be not at all because there'd be other red flags because if you hadn't got any other work, then maybe you had been raising kids or maybe you were caught in an avalanche and had to have physical therapy for 3 years. So there's plenty of good reasons, but
get new legs.
And I think in Japan, I feel it's all about being recommended. So if I recommend
Right.
you, which I will do and I have done,
Yay.
everyone
Thanks so
feels really safe. Oh, Donna recommended him.
Yeah.
And so they really feel confident that you're going to do a great job, because if it won't be your fault if you're doing a good
Sure.
job, it'll be Donna's fault.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so true. That's again that was also true with my visa application. Like they wanted me, which was so surprising, but they wanted me to get recommendations from foreign music industry people I've worked with in the past, specifically. Not just I can see why they would want like somebody in Japan to recommend you, but like they wanted people back home to vouch for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's specifically for the artist thing. So that was like a hassle. I had to like jump through a lot of hoops to like just find the people, let alone getting them to do this paperwork for me. People with some sort of credibility. So but that apparently they were like, no, that's really important. They're gonna like put a lot of value on that. So
Wow.
So yeah, recommendations in general, it really is a part of the culture here in a way that it necessarily maybe isn't in other places.
Well, maybe there's just higher stakes here,
Yeah.
because let's say in Sweden, you recommend someone, you can communicate really clear, mate. You are useless. You know, come on, lift your. Whereas if you can't communicate in English to this person who you've hired to sing or narrate,
Yeah.
The stakes are just that it's just so much more awkward.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, I've definitely had my odd like recording job here for games or whatever, where I've done singing, where even though I speak a bit of Japanese, the director has clearly not known my level, so he's been like trying to figure out the middle ground to give me feedback, but also make sure I actually understand what he's saying, and that's probably
What happened? What was bad about that?
No, it wasn't bad for me, but it just. When if he had brought in a Japanese person to do it, I wonder if, I don't know, it's just fascinating to think about. That's like an extra step of like headache communication for him probably to like not only give me feedback, but make sure I understand it language-wise. Like,
because we've all been, I mean, it is true, like I'm guilty of it. I had to park the car the other day in a brand new building when I went to get my my vaccination.
Right. Oh, I heard the parking there is really bad.
I'll be referring to this event for months, because it was the most exciting thing that's happened to me this year.
Sure.
And I had Chris Wells in the back and his husband Jun, and this guy was like, "Ano ne, nantoka, blah 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 blah, machine or," and I was like looking at him like, "Nah, can't understand a word he's saying. Can you, Jun, Chris, can you understand what he's saying?"
Right.
And they were like, "Oh, is machine parking okay?" Machine parking, yeah. And that means where you don't just drive in and leave your car. You have to drive it into a special machine that whisks it away,
right.
and then you won't see it.
Right.
And
I've seen those.
And maybe your car is like really valuable, and you're worried that it might sort of. Of course, I was in a little Suzuki Hustler, so
Sure.
I was like, yeah, no worries. And then Jun was like, "How have you survived this many years not understanding English and not understanding Japanese?" And I just laughed and I said, "I just guess." Eventually, I would have guessed that the guy was saying nantoka. Is that daijoubu?
Yeah.
And I'm like, everything's daijoubu. Yeah. I mean, and so I just make stuff up. Like I just invent that. Oh, they probably mean this, and I'm just going to
Yeah.
And it's like when you go to a restaurant here and you're like blah 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 blah, and they're like hey, and then they come back with the wrong order.
Yeah. No, I
do that
had
all
those,
the time.
Yeah, I've had those kind of daijoubu moments, like my first year here when I didn't speak any Japanese. I had a lot of those kind of like daijoubu. Is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, sounds good to me, chief. And like, there was the one time when me and my many years ago we went to a bar in Nakanoshimbashi, nice area, hang out a lot.
Wood?
Yeah, and we went in, and it was like late at night. We had been doing something else, and the guy in the entrance, he stops us, and he's like, "Oh, today it's daijoubu. Is that fine?" We're like, "Yeah, it's fine." So we go in, we sit down. We order a beer, and then he's like, "Okay, we're closed now." I'm like, "Oh, okay. So we leave again after 5 minutes, and we got a check for 4,000 yen each.
You know what? That's happened to me too.
Turns out it was the official after party for something that we missed, and we came right before the after party was gonna close, and it was 4,000 to get in. And he said like, dude, we're closing. It's 4,000. You still want to go in? And we were like, yeah, sounds great. So we went in, had a beer, paid 4,000 each, and left.
Oh my god. That's happened to me.
And I was really short on cash at the time too. So yeah.
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pain.
So it's happened to you too, you said? Similar?
Yeah, only a couple of years ago. Yeah. And
really?
the woman I was with spoke really great Japanese. And, you know, they would say, you have to buy these snacks. You have to buy these snacks. We don't want snacks. We just have dinner, but you have to buy the snacks.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell us how much the snacks were. And the snacks were $30. We're talking for shit snacks.
Oh, okay.
Guys, we're talking for a couple of pretzels, a few nuts, some chips.
Was it like a seating charge or?
Yeah, it was just, and that was near Nakano Minamidai. So,
okay,
because we wanted to do karaoke. So I sang one song. I think Heidi sang one, and then these Oji-sans got up and were like, "Okay, we're done." And then it cost about 8,000 yen for one drink and these shit snacks.
Oh wow!
So $80 for the two of us to not have fun.
Wait, what? But it sounds like you went to a snack bar then, and that was the Nomihodai price, maybe?
Yeah, but I never go to snack bars.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Everyone smokes until the Olympics. Thank God, everyone's smoking. So I would just be.
They still do at some places, you know, like when the doors are locked. I mean, typically that does happen. You get the shit snacks, the karaoke, but then it's all you can drink for 2 hours too. So
okay, I didn't want to drink. That's the other thing. It's like I don't just.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to pay the high price, but then it's free drinks. But if you don't want to drink, like you still have to pay the high price anyway. So it's like, it's good if you want to get smashed quickly, you know. But otherwise,
I'm not like, okay, great. I'll never come here again. Lesson learned. There's just like 10 million other places I can go. Or I can just go home. Yay.
Yeah, that works too. I have so many bars and restaurants right outside my window. I still haven't been to.
You live in a great neighborhood for that.
Yeah.
Where do you right?
Yeah. Well, maybe not put that on the internet, but
I didn't actually say where you lived, but the station, is that bad?
Yeah, I don't know. It's well, whatever. I'll just beep it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I don't know. You never know. You never know. I've never said it before, so you know. But it's a great area. Yeah, I'll say this. I live in the general Koenji area, which is, you know, the music town of Tokyo. Chose it because, like, I'm a big music fan. I had this idea when I came here that, like, man, I'm gonna go to new music venues, new concerts every night. Obviously, COVID, so, you know, still haven't been to a single place pretty much, but... yeah. So, but anyway, Koenji is still nice. There's still street musicians out. I like to, like, walk at night, just walk the streets and, like, look at the buildings.
What do you mean there's street musicians?
There's street musicians everywhere in Koenji at night. Now, still.
Annoying the neighbors playing music.
No, entertaining the neighbors playing music.
Oh, like on a corner or.
So have you been to Koenji, like the main square near the station?
I actually have not.
You have not?
You know why? I drive everywhere. I think I rode on a bike and I went to a comedy gig at that Gamasu place. Gamasu, there's a bar that some English-speaking comedians go to. So I would have ridden my bike, and I might have, but no, because I have
Girl,
not been there.
I'm taking you out on the streets in Koenji when everything is done.
Yay!
Koenji is like, okay, so it's similar to, I mean, it's a station, and in front of the station there's a massive square where, like, there are skaters and everything. But they're like, it's really cool. I went there like a couple nights ago, just walking night stroll, and there were like at like I'm talking 2 a.m. There were 3 different bands playing live music at the same time next to each other.
Why wouldn't the neighbors would have gone nuts?
But they didn't. I don't know. I mean, I've seen street performers there sometimes get like the police runs up to them like, lower the music. I don't know. It's fine. It's like a music town. They have like street musicians every day.
Awesome.
It is so good. There are more live houses in Koenji than in all of Sweden. So, You know, it's such a great little town, and they even have like Hard Off, the massive like secondhand junk store, but they only have music gear. Usually they have video games and TVs and stuff too. This one only has music, 3 floors, so it's really cool. It's really cool. I love it. Oh yeah, I can't believe you've never been there, man.
I know it's true. It's
just take a taxi next time.
Yeah, but you know what it's like. There's so many places near my house, and when I used to live in Roppongi, I think I went to about 4 places.
Sure.
So Roppongi had like all these places. I was like, you get really lazy, and my job is so fun that at the end of the day, the last thing I want to do is go out. I just want to stay home.
Sure.
In the olden days.
I get that in theory. I just can't relate to it personally.
And so
but I can see that.
I've got my Korean barbecue walk, and I like walking to my house to places. So to get in a cab or any sort of, even though it's great, I don't have FOMO. I feel like that's. But I definitely want to now go there and with
Koenji is great. The whole Koenji Nakano, like that's like wombo combo of those two. It's like such a great place. Yeah. There's a really nice Italian restaurant close to your house, actually. I don't know if you've been there, but
what's it called?
Aventura. It's like
what road is it on? Aventura.
It's on the I don't know. Do you want me to give you specifics where you live? It's basically on your street. If you go left and then you cross the main street and then there's a Shoten guy on the other side.
Oh yeah.
On that Shoten guy on the left. After a while.
Aventura. And is there a big bar?
Yeah, it's basically just a long bar disc, but it's actually.
Oh yeah, I think I went there once.
It's like Italian. There's an Italian chef like guy in there. It looks like a snack bar, but it's actually an Italian restaurant.
Oh, it's an Italian.
Well, he's Japanese, but he's been cooking, I think, in Italy, and like a lot of the customers are also Japanese people. So
he's probably more Italian than Italians.
Yeah, a lot of
they're really good.
They're all Japanese, but they all speak Italian for some reason. Me and mine are pretty friendly with all the staff and everybody there, so it's a really nice place. Drinks are cheap too for some reason, so like 200 yen.
What do you do there? How do you go there in the pandemic times though?
You really don't. We haven't been there in like a year, but we went there quite a bit before everything went to shit. But it's been a while now.
Yeah.
But it's a really nice place. It's like it's like a bar,
and I like watching people prepare the food too. That's always fun.
Yeah, and again, it's like a bar. Like you sit down, you have your beer, but then you also have like a crazy pasta or something. So it's really nice. It's really nice. Let's go there when everything's back to normal.
Yeah, I want you to come to my house again.
Yeah, I want to as well. It was so nice to eat all the cheese. Anyway.
It'll be in a few more days. I'll be 92%. Yeah, so I feel like the end is in sight. Yay.
Yes. In a month from today, I will be a week away from my second shot. So that's great. I
like the way you're thinking. A month from today, you'll be a week away from your second shot.
Yep. So it's closing in. I was getting kind of jealous there for a while for all the people in America getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, because that's just the one shot, right? And also with Pfizer, you're apparently going to need a third booster after 6 months. So I'm like, oh, okay, there's a secret third shot coming up too. So
no, that's good. That means that they'll tweak it for the variants too. So
yeah, I mean, sure. Glass is half full, for sure. I just wish I could be done with it, you know?
we won't be done with it.
No, 2025 maybe. No,
the done with it is when I can do a performance again.
That is true. Well, you did Metal Gear concert. That was a great show.
I did do Metal Gear. Okay, all right. So that's
more than I've done. I've been on stage since 2019 Sweden Rock Festival. But anyway.
Oh, that sucks.
It's been a hot minute. But anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been going for very long, and we have had a good time so far. Donna, do you have any more thoughts, any more things we should get off our hearts before we close up shop?
No, I just wanted to know about the Olympics, whether you were I found out about your vaccination. I'm really excited to find out what's happening tomorrow night.
Yes.
With Tokyo Time, with the Silent Hill and Kojima and Jeff Keighley.
What if it's nothing though? Are you going to be disappointed?
I think it's still I like if it's actually an indie studio, then I really do feel sorry for them.
Yeah, because they're toast. Like they're never coming back from this. Poor guys.
Yeah. But I feel like it looks so dodgy, and it smells like a fish. It swims like a fish.
It's like they're making it look bad on purpose. Yeah, it looks like they're making it look bad on purpose. But if it's actually in the game, that means it's just actually bad. No, it's not on purpose.
Yeah.
So, oh my god, the poor trailer girl.
And you know what I liked about it is it's just when you read all the comments on Yongyi's post on his video thing, there's so much fun and joy. I feel like this with the Metal Gear community. Everyone's so nice.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And so sort of I don't know. I just reading the comments and the vibe that it has, and everyone's sort of good humoured about it.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that.
Yeah, there's definitely a nice sense of camaraderie within the whole Konami games community, Kojima Productions, whatever.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
Yeah, it's fun. So that brings me, that makes me happy when I see that. Even, and just, how adult people are willing to play around, dive deep.
Yeah.
And have a really fun look at conspiracy theories, but they know it's all just for fun. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I personally, again, I've been super deep into this. At the end of the day, it's about a freaking video game. It's not like we're trying to find out who's the killer, or anything like that. So it's just a video game. Yeah, and that makes it even more fun. That it's so unimportant.
And it's like in the olden times before there were video games, and people would sit around and have debates and say, no, the cloudberry is the most delicious. No, in fact,
that is
the
just a fact,
berry, I can prove it. And just it's entertaining.
Yes.
To be sitting on the sidelines. I'm not even engaging in this, but it's just so entertaining to see people just weigh in. So keep it up. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to seeing what happens, if anything, tomorrow. I'll say this. It is weird that Silent Hill merch is getting released at the same day for no apparent reason for the first time in like 20 years.
Yeah.
It's too weird. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, anyway, thank you for listening to another episode of Making It in Japan. Not so much about how to actually make it, but still fun, hopefully. I had fun.
Yeah, I had fun. And actually, make a good resume.
That's that is important. And if you're Kojima,
and
make
nice.
Silent Hill.
Make sure you have a bath every day. I think there's, we've just covered, I think that's enough to keep people going for next week.
Yes. Remember to brush your teeth, floss, and use, what's it called? Listerine.
Oh.
What's it called? Jesus, forgot the word. Gargle. No.
Mouthwash.
Mouthwash, yeah. There's a verb. What's the word for the verb? To
gargle?
Gargle. Thank you. Yes.
That sounds like something you could buy at IKEA.
Yeah.
And I'm going to buy the 2 gargles.
Oh my god. Yeah, that could be a Swedish word actually. Like a gargoyle for your mansion. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Remember, you can find us on Spotify, Donna Burke's YouTube channel, and on Twitter as well. Make sure you follow us there at Making Japan. And we'll be back here next week with more adventures. Another guest coming up. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. Have a nice day, Donna. Oh, where can people find you, by the way, before we get going?
At Twitter, DB_singer_actor, and YouTube.
Yes.
Just Google me, darling. Just Google me.
Yes.
Oh.
And
what about you, Indigo?
Well, you can Google Donna, and then I'm linked somewhere from her. So yeah.
Indigo. Just Google Indigo and you'll find him.
You probably will, actually, which is pretty cool. No, I'm Indigo on YouTube, Indigo Skyborn everywhere else. Support me on Patreon if you want to. I have one of those now, patreon.com/Indigo.
How's that going?
It's off to a start. I'll say.
Good. That's very diplomatic.
Yeah. No, there's I've gotten some support. I mean, I was afraid I'll get like 0 people, but like there's like 14 of them so far, so it's something.
Oh.
So that's
nice.
fun. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, you're welcome. Goodbye. Bye-bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
Love ya. See ya.
Cheers.